Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Death Star Dalek. And what are we looking at today? Well, we are looking at the top 10 episodes of classic Doctor Who. That's right, that word classic. No new Who for us, no 10th Doctor, no 11th Doctor, no Fezzes in this. It's the classic series from William Hartnell to Paul McGann. That's what we're looking at from here. Now you ask yourself, why do we need another top 10 classic Doctor Who episodes? Why do we need it, Death Star Dalek? Well, because the ones I've seen on YouTube are bloody awful, and they do not agree with them in any way about their top 10. And no doubt when you've seen my presentation, once you see my top 10, you'll be screaming at the computer, screaming at TV, this is a madman. He's left off the greatest episode of all time. Or what's he put that rubbish in? But as of 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning in September, these are my top 10. Will they be my same top 10 tomorrow? Most probably not. Will they be my top 10 in the years from now? Almost definitely not. But right now, these are the top 10. So you don't want to waste your time speaking to me or listening to me anymore. We want to get on with our top 10 countdown. So let's have a look at number 10. So we kick off with number 10, and I've chosen the 5 Doctors. I can hear some of you screaming at the screen now. It's awful. Why would you put the 5 Doctors in there? It doesn't even bloody star 5 Doctors. Tom Baker gets hoofed off a gondola in the first episode. It's not even part of the film. It was taken from Shada. And if it's the 5 Doctors, where's William Hartnell? William Hartnell had passed on at that point. So he's gone. He's replaced by Richard Hurndall. So is it the 3 Doctors and a couple of extra? Who cares? Peter Davison was in his full throw, and the BBC knew they had to bring something big out for the 20th anniversary. And here it is. We have Jon Pertwee, we have Patrick Troughton, and we have Peter Davison. And we do have the first Doctor in Richard Hurndall, who does a bloody good performance from there. And it's an all-encompassing episode. We have the Cybermen, we have the Daleks, we have the Master, we have a wonderful soundtrack. Yes, it's a little bit of a mess, yeah, it's a little bit goofy, but you know what? It encapsulates everything that's perfect about the series as a whole. And out of any episode, you can put the 5 Doctors on and just have a good time with it. And that's why it slips in at number 10. And at number 9, we have the Patrick Troughton story, The Mind Robber. That's right, we're going black and white with the second Doctor here. Why The Mind Robber? Well, it's absolutely fantastic. There are no Daleks in this. He is thrown into a world of fiction, of Gulliver, of Rapunzel, of the Carcass. It's a wonderful story where the whole cast gets to move away from their sci-fi roots and instead embed themselves in this world of fiction. You have Jamie, but he disappears for a couple of episodes because he wasn't very well. So he's replaced by somewhere who they cleverly change faces on a jigsaw. It's absolutely brilliant. And you have Patrick Troughton fluting his way through this. You can't have a better Patrick Troughton story. Are there better ones out there? Possibly the War Games, but do you know what? The Mind Robber is fun, it's brilliant, and that's why it makes number 9. And straight on to number 8, and it didn't take long. We're now all teeth and curls as Tom Baker comes rushing into our top 10 at number 8, and it is with the sublime Robots of Death. This Agatha Christie, Isaac Asimov, and Frank Herbert inspired 4-parter is the absolute pinnacle of the 4th Doctor's tenure. The British Film Institute chose this on the 50th anniversary to be the episode they place in their vaults. They love it, we love it. What can't you like? Kilovolt robots, a space station. It's wonderful with fantastic cliffhangers and a beautifully designed set. It is about as perfect as you can get. But it only gets in at number 8, which means we have got some gold coming up. And at number 7, we have City of Death. I can hear you now, some of you screaming, what do you mean at number 7? What are the 6 better stories than City of Death? Well, there aren't many, because it makes the top 10. It's not in the top 5, it's not in the top 6, but it makes number 7. And why? Because the Doctor and Romana are in Paris. It's 1979, they're at the Louvre, they're running up the Eiffel Tower, and it's absolutely perfect in every way, but it only makes number 7. Let's move on. And at number 6 we have The Talons of Weng-Chiang. Hang on, that's the Fourth Doctor dressed up as Sherlock Holmes in Victorian England, influenced by Fu Manchu and Jack the Ripper, with giant fake rats in the sewer, with a futuristic supervillain, with a puppet that goes around killing people. How can this get any better? It can't, and that's why it's at number 6. And in at number 5, we have the first representation from the 7th Doctor. McCoy joins us here with his absolutely magnificent episode, Remembrance of the Daleks. It was the 25th anniversary year, and the Beeb taking us back to Coal Hill School. We have Daleks with cannons in their chest. We have Ace destroying Daleks with specially zapped up baseball bats. We have McCoy running around with his question mark umbrella. We have the return of Davros. Everything you could want. The 7th Doctor took some warming up, but my God, did he explode with this episode. Remembrance of the Dalek. Most people's top 10 for a good reason, and it's here at number 5. And we get into our top 4, and it's the 5th Doctor's first entry here, as Peter Davison comes rushing in with the universally loved, the universally acclaimed, brilliant Caves of Androzani. In 2009, a vote showed this to be the number 1 best episode of classic Doctor Who, as voted by you, the viewers. It is loved. One of the few episodes to have its own soundtrack released. You have a brilliant story here. The final Peter Davison story. The 5th Doctor's final entry into the canon. And it's magnificent. You have a villain that hadn't been seen for years. As good as Sharaz Jek, played by the wonderful Christopher Gable. You have Nicholas Bryant running around and finding herself into the role as Peregrine Brown. And the Doctor has never, Peter Davison's Doctor shows that he has the one of the greatest stories of all time in him. It's taken him all of his tenure to get there, but the Caves of Androzani quite rightly sits at number 4. And now we enter the top 3. And in number 3, we're back with Teeth and Curls. It's Tom Baker in The Ark in Space in 1975, before Alien came out. This is Alien. It's fantastic with massive ant-like creatures, the Wirrn, the space station Nerva. You have Harry, it is absolutely brilliant from there. Sarah Jane Smith owns it. You have Tom Baker on top form. It's frightening. Yes, the monsters can be a bit rubbish at some point, but who cares? It's Tom Baker running around a space station, killing giant ants. You're not going to get better at this. This was one of the first episodes I saw. This what made me fall in love with Doctor Who, and it's regularly featured on the top 10. But now, let's have a look at what came in at second place. And just missing out on the top spot is the first entry for the 3rd Doctor, the wonderful Jon Pertwee, and without question his best episode is the sublime Inferno. Look at the picture. You have the Brigadier who turns bad in a parallel universe. And how do they represent that? They stick an eye patch on him. Well, if that doesn't give it the right to be the second best episode of all time, I don't know what does. Do you know what? We'll throw some werewolves in there. An exploding nuclear reactor. You've got Liz. You've got the 3rd Doctor. You have got a bad Brigadier. You have got everything we love about the 3rd Doctor in this tremendous episode. It always features in the top 5, and it features in the top 5 of everyone's list for a reason. It is 6 episodes of pure joy. In fact, don't listen to me. Go off and watch Inferno. Pause it now and come back to see what is at number 1. And this is what you've been waiting for, the greatest Doctor Who story of all time. And did you have any doubt? Of course you didn't. You knew as soon as you clicked onto this link, as soon as you're watching this YouTube video, you just knew what was going to be at number 1, because it's voted time and time and time again. Genesis of the Daleks. It is the masterpiece for classic Doctor Who. We have Davros, born to us for the first time. He shows how he creates the Daleks. You have Harry on absolute top form. You have Tom Baker. Never has he encapsulated the 4th Doctor more when he's got a chance to wipe out the Daleks for all time. But he cannot. As he says, what right do I have? There is tension. You have Sarah Jane. She's taken off. You have mutants. You have Daleks. You've got Davros. You have everything you need. And as I said, don't waste your time anymore listening to me. Go and get out that collection. Go and buy them. If you haven't got them on DVD, they're about £2 each from one of the second-hand sellers, and go and watch these top 10 episodes. It's far better than any of the new stuff coming out now. There's no silliness, there's no fezzes, there's no bow ties, and there's nothing else but pure British sci-fi joy. I'm Death Star Dalek, and I hope you've enjoyed that top 10.